Hey guys, so this is Eric Johnson. I'm kind of at a rock bottom and I just have to deal with it. I've gone through the whole gamut of emotions from anger to shame to sorrow, depression, anxiety. Because here's the thing we're living in this back room, my girlfriend and I, and at her sister's house. I'm almost 50 years old, and we're staying in this back room. See, there's my computer. There's my little shrine over there with Jesus, couch, backpacks, and cat. We got a cat, so we're good. But I want to talk about how I've dealt with rocking and how I discovered I had autism because it was kind of a revelation that I took the autism test a couple years ago, maybe 3 years now, and I scored at the very bottom of autism. So I think I'm high functioning autistic. Now the extreme side of that is like the Rain Man, where they can barely talk right and they can't tie their shoes or anything like that. But I think I'm high functioning because I can pretty much be a chameleon around anyone and adopt their mannerisms, their tonal, because I love music. I've listened to music just as much as I've rocked back and forth. And so, there's music playing right now. It's ambient drone. It's kind of like white noise. But I've calculated that I've rocked maybe 50,000 hours in my life, probably more, and music has always been there. But I haven't lived with anyone for almost 30 years. Roommates, that is. I've always lived with a girlfriend, but I've never lived with someone's family before since I moved out of my own house with my family. And so it's been really rough because I want to be the man of the house. I want to be the alpha male. I saw a TikTok today where this Asperger man said that people with autism don't like hierarchies. We don't like to be told what to do. We're lone wolves. We're black sheeps of the family. We like to march to the own beat of our drum and do things our way. I mean, my dad's one of my dad's funniest memories of me was when I was like 7. We were driving somewhere, long road trip, and I was behind him in the back seat of the car, and I pushed his head over so I could see the highway. And he thought that was funny at the time, but he was very scared, had a very scary temper, but luckily he thought that was funny. Because I had to see the road. I had, I was bullheaded and I had to do things my way. And he was the same way. He probably has autism as well. He's got a lot of the characteristics of that. Being a perfectionist, a control freak, because his dad was an alcoholic. And when there's not any control in the house, then you become a control freak later on in life. That's just one theory, because you grew up in chaos, so you become a control freak because you don't want unsafe situations later on to arise. So I'm a control freak. Every noise in this apartment has to be just right. The sound on the music has to be just right. The fan has to be just right. The heat has to be just right. Everything has to be just right. And it can drive me nuts. So I know I've talked in this channel about how I quit rocking a couple times. And at this point in my life, I'm just like, I need it. I need to rock back and forth. The world is just gone crazy, and I need it. If I don't, I'm going crazy here. We've been here a year and a half. We were only going to stay for a year, so we're approaching a year and a half, and my business online isn't doing what I thought it would. I'm just scratching my head. Same with my girlfriend. She has an online business. She's like, I don't know what's going on. We're both driving lots of traffic to our online businesses, and nothing. No one's buying. At least that's our belief, and maybe it's a bad belief to have. But things are tight. People are scared. So I'm just at a total loss. I'm just too exhausted to even get angry anymore. But I want to talk about the bright side of this. Now, I was listening to some music earlier, Deftones, some new metal from the 90s, early 2000s, I mean. And that was a great time in my life. I was, in my mid 20s. Alcohol was still fun. I still smoked cigarettes. Girls still thought I was cute, and I thought I was cool. I had a huge stereo system. Would invite people over and blare Limp Bizkit and Corn and stuff like that. And so I was listening to some new metal today. It just came up on my playlist, and this song by Perfect Circle. It made me cry. I was like, I knew the point of the song was coming up, and I was like, all right, I'm getting ready for it. And I started breathing really hard, almost hyperventilating. And then that chorus line hit, and tears just started coming down my face, because I grew up with music, and music is my life. I already said that, but I feel alive when I hear certain songs. I feel like I'm in my 20s again. Because right now I'm living in this tiny room, and I need something. I'm grabbing for anything that will make me feel good. It could be food, it could be fapping, it could be loud music. Look it up if you don't know what fapping is. But here's the good point. Even though I'm living with my girlfriend's sister and her husband, there is a sense of good childhood feelings here, because I feel like I'm supported, I'm taken care of. I just texted her this morning, even though she's in the other room. I text her and I was like, I'm sorry that we're staying here so long, and she's like, oh, no problem, we love you and we understand. And I'm only paying like $100 a month in rent, and so so we can get back on our feet. But I remember in my 20s, I didn't have any credit card debt. I didn't have any bills. All I had was a Schwinn Cruiser, and I worked at a little cafe flipping omelets, and my life was simple. And looking back at that time, that was the best time of my life. It was very simple. And right now, things are kind of simple. I mean, all my bills equal like $700 a month. My rent's $100. I could get in shape. I could meditate. I could read. I could drink tea like I did in my 20s, just sip tea and read a book. But instead, my ego and my pride is tricking me into feeling crappy that I'm living in this situation. I'm almost 50. I need to get my own house. I should have made $1 million by now. My dad's going to be upset. My dad just turned 80 a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to be turning 50 in 4 months. And I had this huge fantasy plan, that we would meet, when I turn 50, he's 80, and I would have been self-made millionaire, have a nice house. But the reality is, I can barely make any money online. The first time in the 7 years, it's been a total head scratcher why I'm not making anything online. And, so there's a conflict there. I have this fantasy, but the reality is this. So I have to look on the bright side, though, and realize that this is the most simple my life has been for a long time. If I can just stop having these expectations what my life should look like, then I could really embrace just letting go and letting God and accepting this situation and make the best out of it. Because we want to raise our vibration to the point of gratitude, and you got to find some joy in something. And it's pretty cool paying $100 in rent. It's pretty cool that I can work out in the morning undisturbed. I go in another room in the house and do push-ups and sit-ups and listen to music, and because we need our alone time. If you have Asperger's or autism, you probably need a place to unwind and just be with your thoughts. So I'm rocking sometimes 14 hours a day. And I know you guys are rocking too. A lot of you don't even want to quit rocking. You're just like, yeah, it's just what I do. It makes me feel good. And, at this point, we should just do stuff that, makes us feel good. And I'm not saying go out and do drugs just because they make you feel good, because that's an illusion. You might feel high for an hour, but then you're going to crash and you can ruin your life. So I'm not saying feel good that way. I'm saying feel good in the small things. At least we have a great backyard, big oak trees and grass, and I can go out there and I can mow the lawn just like I did when I was a kid. That's the other thing. I mean, the simple things I did in my 20s or younger, I look back and I'm like, wow, I wish I could have that again. Well, ta-da, it's right here. But now you're like almost 50 and you have all these plans and they're not being met. Let go of the plans. Let go of the expectations. Let go of your pride. It's okay. It's okay to rely on others, So I guess that's my rant today. Like I said, I cried just 5 minutes ago to a song, Tears of Joy. And I remember the first time I did that with a Linkin Park song in my 20s. And it was a summer day. And it was just the song just kept getting brighter and brighter and louder and louder. And the chorus was so overwhelming that I just started crying tears of joy. And I never had that before. So now I can kind of tap into it and access it. Not always. Life's been really hard lately, so this is a good break from just brutal reality. And I'm escaping back into new metal music, and I got the short hair again like I did when I was 20. The only thing missing is the Schwinn Cruiser, and reading more and journaling. Typing on a old typewriter, pretending I was Jack Kerouac, writing the great American novel, and drinking wine under the stars, being a hobo. And I don't know. What do you guys think? How are you dealing with life right now? What can you find joy in your life? What do you do? What are your hobbies? Do you listen to music while you rock? What kind of rocking do you do? What kind of stimming do you do? Leave a comment. Let's I really enjoy hearing from you guys. In fact, you're pretty much my only friends. I walked away from all my friends 12 years ago when I quit drinking, and just been hiding out at home ever since, So it can get lonely sometimes, but then again, I thrive being alone. I mean, I always have a girlfriend or, one person in my life. I can't be completely alone. I would go insane. So, love you guys. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk soon.